Hello and welcome back to a very important lesson on working with circuits that includes finding current, voltage or resistance values in a single or a multi-loop circuit. So here is a circuit that has a battery with an EMF E, a resistor R and the wires that connect the two. And going forward, we'll keep in mind that the wires themselves have negligible resistance unless the problem mentions that the wires have some resistance. So wires in a way are like channels through which charge carriers move. Now let us pick some point on this circuit. Any point, let us say this one here, and start moving in one of the directions, that is clockwise or anti-clockwise. And while we do so, we'll algebraically add the potential drop or gain as we move along the path, so that when we return to the same point again, the net gain in potential would be 0. Now, this point which I just made needs to be understood very clearly. And to do so, I would want you to imagine that you are on a mountain and you trek around on it, but finally get back to the same point from where you started. Now, the question is, would you have gained or lost height relative to the ground level? Well, it is obvious that if you get back to the same point from where you started, you would not have gained or lost any height because you are at the same point from where you started. So let us see this by adding any gain in height as we move and subtracting as we lose any height relative to the ground as we move from start point and get back to the same point. So let us say you start from a point that is 100 meters above the ground and reach this point that is 10 meters higher. So you add 10 meters to your original height. Then you come down by 25 meters. So we subtract 25 meters and then you decide to go down by another 5 meters. So we further subtract 5 meters and then you finally decide to go back to your starting point and therefore move up 20 meters. So we add 20 meters. Then if we add up this rise and fall to your original elevation, what you'll find is that the final elevation is the same as the starting point elevation, and so this equals 100 meters, which should be the case. Well, if we apply the same idea in circuits where we say that if you start at a point and come back to the same point, your final potential should be the same no matter what you encountered on the way. Or in other words, the net gain and loss in potential on the way should be 0. In fact, this is what is called Kirchhoff's loop rule or Kirchhoff's voltage law, and in a more formal way, it states that the algebraic sum of the changes in potential as we move in a loop of a circuit should be 0. So let us apply the same principle to this simple circuit and see if it works for us. We'll take A as the start and assume the potential here is VA, quite like the initial height at which you started your mountain trek, and move in a clockwise direction till we are back at A. And while we do so, at each step we'll know the gain or loss of potential, again quite like the gain or loss in height during your trek. So let us start moving, and as the charge moves from here to here, what we see is that we have moved from the lower potential point of the battery to the higher potential, and so the charge has gained potential, and we know the potential difference is E, and since there is a gain, we will label it positive. So let us move on, and as we move along this wire, there is no change in potential since the wire has negligible resistance, or in other words, no effort is required or no work needs to be done in moving the charge between any 2 points of the wire itself. So let us keep moving and we cross resistor R. Here the charge moves from a place of higher potential to lower potential, and the drop is given as V is equal to I times R, and since it is a drop, we take this as a negative number. We keep moving in clockwise direction along this lower length of the wire, and again, since the wire has no resistance, there is no potential drop, and we once again reach point A from where we started, and the potential here is VA. So the way we found ourselves at the same elevation on the mountain when we reach the starting point, this should equal VA. Then what we find is I is equal to E upon R. Now, what if we had decided to move in a counterclockwise direction? Would we have got the same value of I? Well, let us find that by using loop method again. So now we move from point A to the bottom of the resistor, but this time we find the potential increases as we move to the other end of the resistor, because you can see the current will always move from a place of high potential to a place of low potential. So if current is moving down in this direction, this place must be at a lower potential than this, and therefore there is a gain in potential when we move across from here to here, and we therefore take a positive sign. Now we keep moving and reach the positive terminal of the battery, and then onto the negative terminal, which is clearly a drop in potential of magnitude E, and therefore we take a negative sign, and again we find that I is equal to E upon R. So you see, loop method can be used taking any direction around the loop, clockwise or anti-clockwise. So now, since you have some conceptual clarity around loop law or loop rule, let us try to memorize two important rules that will help us work with circuits that have more loops. So the first one is called the resistance rule, that says that if you are moving through a resistance in the direction of the current, the change in potential is minus IR. But if you're moving in the opposite direction, it'll be plus IR. And this is exactly what we did earlier. The second rule is, if you are moving from the negative terminal of a battery to the positive, that is also the direction of EMF, the change in potential is positive. And this actually is quite obvious, since moving from negative to positive obviously means a gain or a positive E. On the other hand, if you're moving from positive to negative terminal of the battery or against the direction of the EMF, the potential will drop, and therefore we take minus E. Well, if you've understood what we've discussed so far, with some practice problems, you can pretty much become really good at solving problems around electric circuits. If you have not, I would suggest you continue watching the video and re-watch it, which will bring a lot of clarity after you've watched the second time. Okay, let us now study the same problem in another way, and this time around we'll also consider the internal resistance of the battery. So what we have here is a battery with an EMF E and internal resistance R, and like before, it is connected with a wire to a resistor R. So you see, the internal resistance of the battery has been put inside this box to indicate that it is part of the battery. But at the same time, you can observe that the internal resistance can be shown like any other resistance in the circuit and treated accordingly. So this time what we'll do is stretch the circuit into a straight line as if it has been cut at this point and laid out straight. So let us say point A is at potential VA. Then as we move to the right past the battery, there is a gain in potential since we're moving from negative to the positive terminal of the battery. Then it stays the same but drops by IR as the charge passes through the internal resistance R. It continues to be the same and drops again, this time by I times capital R when the charge passes through resistor R. And you see, the charge is again at the same potential VA as it reaches back point A. So if we solve this equation for I, what we get is I is equal to EMF upon R plus small r. And you can see in this equation that if the internal resistance was 0, this equation would have reduced to the earlier derived equation of I is equal to EMF upon capital R. Okay, let us move ahead and consider a bunch of resistors in series connected to a battery with EMF E. Well, when we say resistors are in series, it basically means that we have connected or wired the resistors one after the other and the potential difference is applied to the ends of the series. So you see here we have connected the three resistors between the ends A and B, and a potential difference is then maintained between A and B with the help of a battery. Now, one thing you must note is that current across all resistors connected in series remains the same. And it is simply because you can see that whatever charge enters this side has to come out this side and enter the second resistor and then onto the third resistor. So as such, there is no loss of charge and therefore current remains the same across all resistors in series. However, as the charge moves through each resistor, its potential drops such that the total drop equals V. So if V1 is the drop in potential across R1, V2 across R2 and V3 across R3, then V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now, what if we are asked to find value of a single resistor equivalent to these three resistors such that the potential difference across it is V and current is I? Well, we can find the equivalent resistance R by using the loop rule to both the circuits. So in this loop, we see that if VA is a potential here, then the equation we get if we move clockwise is VA plus E minus IR1 minus IR2 minus IR3 is equal to VA, or I is equal to E upon R1 plus R2 plus R3. And for this loop again, moving clockwise, VA plus E minus IR is equal to VA, or I is equal to E upon R. Then if we equate the two I values, what we get is E upon R is equal to E upon R1 plus R2 plus R3, or 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus R2 plus R3, or R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. And we can apply the same logic to n resistors if they are placed in series as well, such that R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus so on and so forth till you reach the last resistor or the nth resistor. So if you like the video, do give it a thumbs up, share it with someone, or just post a comment. And yes, don't forget to ring the bell below to get notifications when I publish a new video.